So you're not going to your dream school. You might not even be going to a competitive program at all. But guess what? You still won, and I'm gonna tell you why. I know everybody talks about college like it's the most important thing ever. And it is important. It can open up a lot of opportunities for you. But the next 4 years you spend in college cannot and will not strictly determine the rest of your life. If you are disappointed by your audition results, just remember that even though you didn't get into the school or schools you wanted to, the school that you end up attending is going to do nothing but open new doors for you. Maybe not in the exact immediate gratification way that you were expecting it, but it will open them nonetheless. And that is something to celebrate. That's something to throw a party over. You may have been aiming way up here, and while you didn't get there for some reason, it really could be anything. Believe me, you made it all the way up here. Think about everything that you've done and have yet to do. Whether you're just starting to think about auditions or you're already committed to a school, you have things that you should be very proud of. And that is true for every single person watching this video. Auditioning for this many schools is an experience that you will never have again, at least not in the same way. So really think about how amazing it was that you even did that. It is stressful and it does mean the world to you in senior year, but remember that life is so much bigger than the schools that rejected you or the opportunities you missed or the things you could have done to prepare better as an 18-year-old. If you had a flaw and it was still a flaw when you entered that audition room, that does not mean you're a failure. You are 17 or 18, you do not have to be Broadway level yet. That's why you're going to college. The right college that will nurture your talents the most is going to be the one to take you. 99% of the things that go on in admissions are just out of your control, so please do not blame yourself for those things. Even though I did make it into a pretty well-regarded art school, I was not really aware of that at the time that I got my acceptance letter. I saw my school as just the one in my city, and I thought that I needed to get into a lot of super competitive schools out of state to be happy with my outcomes. But the reality is, even match schools have much less than a 50% acceptance rate, and most of the schools that you're going to apply to, you're probably going to get rejected from just statistically, even if you're very talented. So if you come out of your college audition experience with only a couple options or even only one, you are not alone by any means, and your worth does not decrease because of that fact. It's very hard and sometimes upsetting, but just because you weren't super lucky for this one moment doesn't mean that you won't be later. Most people cannot even imagine themselves doing what us actors do because they're so afraid of failure and rejection. The fact is, if you continue to do what you do best and not give up, you are actually ahead because you have already learned how to face rejection head on and continue to succeed despite it. Okay, imagine you got on Broadway. Imagine you're giving a speech to your high school about your journey to Broadway. Wouldn't it make that speech much more pertinent and inspiring if you had some struggle to share? If you had gotten into your dream school right out of high school, that would be a very predictable story, and honestly, it would be boring. Yeah, of course people go to live in New York City and take risks when they graduate from those schools because it's much safer for them to do so. They got lucky when they were 18, and that's amazing. But in my opinion, you're not really chasing your dreams anymore if you don't need to run to get there. You got into the school you did because the universe decided you deserve a better story than that. Your personality can handle it. But let me explain what I mean by that. Last year I went to a statewide one-act competition, and during that competition, Tiffany Haas came as a speaker during our awards ceremony. She graduated from the University of Cincinnati, which is a top 10 school, and she said that almost everyone in her class had given up a few years after graduation. That's right. Most of the students in the class of a top 10 Broadway pipeline school gave up because they were rejected too many times in the industry and couldn't do it anymore. Now, I'm not one to assume, but something tells me that these people hadn't been rejected a lot prior to graduating from college. If you give up because of rejection, then you were an actor because you thought you were good at it, not because it was your passion. I guess those people were just tragically late to that wake-up call. So, what's your path? Is acting your passion, or are you only doing it because you thought you were good at it? Are you only doing it because you got in once and then just continued to get in to shows? Or are you doing it because it fills part of your soul? That's something that you need to know before you apply to colleges if you're watching it from that standpoint. And if you are about to give up because you were rejected from most of your schools, you can decide what you want to do, but I think it's really saying something if you continue to do what you love, even after being rejected so many times. Because that's what acting is, it's being rejected. That's what the job is. It's being rejected, and then maybe accepted, but that one acceptance is worth it all, isn't it? Be ambitious, work hard, but remember you're young and enjoy your life. Jesus Christ, like, relax your shoulders, go get a massage or something. It's all going to work out. College auditions are just 1 year of auditions, and so much can happen in the next 4 years. Do not beat yourself up. Progress takes time, and rejection is just redirection. Everyone says it, but it's true. It is just redirection. You are going somewhere different than you thought you were, but that's a good thing, because that's the way that life panned out for you, and you should make the most of it. Life is and will continue to be bigger than your dream school. Peace out.